Shanti, everybody. We'll just have a little minute of silence just to be in our soul presence so that we're here sitting in our soul presence in this body. Not here to prove anything. I'm not here to teach you. I'm just going to give you my experiences. So I'm not here to help you heal yourself. I'm not here to fix anything. And so that's what we're here for. I'm just going to relate today my experiences about including the mind and the body. So the importance of body and mind. Just thinking, I had a good experience this morning, so I thought I'll relate it. So this morning in my early morning, I was a lot of times when I might wake up at 3 in the morning or something, and then I go into sort of a dream state. You're actually conscious, but you're dreamy, floating around. And this morning I had a voice in my head because I've been teaching how the body is part of the field. In fact, the body is the field. We're actually doing everything through the body. But I still was thinking I have to battle the mind, you know what I mean? The mind is that sort of thing you've got to suppress and keep down but this morning the mind spoke to me and says, hey, you can't have the body without the mind. So and I says, yeah, you're right, actually. He says, actually the mind is only here we've given it instructions to protect us over thousands of years, so since forever actually. And so the mind got a bit enthusiastic about protecting us, that's all. So I said to the mind, oh, sorry, mind, please forgive me and I'll please welcome into the field the body and mind. You can't have one without the other. So, and I got this beautiful feeling of love, from the mind and from experiencing from the mind and the body. Because I accepted the body a while ago, just about a month ago, that it's part of the field, that it is the field. And I got some beautiful experiences from that. And now I'm getting a new experience of the mind being part of the field too, because it's our best friend. I mean, we can't do anything without the mind. I mean, we'll be mindless, wouldn't we? So as they say, you'd be wandering around. So I thought, oh yeah, I haven't really thought about that because I always thinking my whole life has been about meditation and doing things like that. That all the time. Once I started meditation, everyone was always talking about battling your mind, not making your mind your best friend in a way. But I have heard that over the last 20 years. But how to make the mind your best friend, So first, once you understand that the body has its own intelligence, same with the mind. Mind has its own intelligence as well. Soul has its own intelligence. Same with my light body has its own intelligence. Excuse me. And the I am, it doesn't have any of that. I am is the eternal me. That's my God self. And that's also manifesting, that's experiencing through the human. So everything is experienced through the human. And imagine if you didn't have the mind there, what would we do? So the mind has been sitting there and saying, hey, what about me? And so that's what I had that experience this morning. The mind, one my dream state was talking to me in that way. And the mind is such a beautiful tool, It's something that's been also upgraded at the moment. So the body, the mind, the whole of the system that we're operating through in our field, So it's so important to accept the body as it is, because it's got its own DNA, isn't it, from your parents and everything. So it's not that it's going to be perfect. So like this morning, I went and got my body sorted out. It's like a neurologist type person, and she teaches the mind to help the body heal itself. The body does everything, but she's guiding it through. She's sort of quite a psychic person. But we've become quite good friends over a few years. Oh no, probably about 6 months or so that I've been going to her off and on. But what she does is that she guides the intelligence of the body to different parts that need healing, So I couldn't believe it. I was like, I had rubber legs. I mean, in the sense of I was so free, and after that, it fixed everything. And so the importance that I'm not going to her to get healing, but for her to guide my body to what needs fixing, So whatever it was, So, but before that, I she she's in Parnell. There's a beautiful church there that was 1861. It's been there since 1861, and I was just standing next door to that. And this old Maori guy came up to me, he says, "Are you the minister here, eh?" And I says, "No." I said, "I'm a bit of a minister though." But anyway, so I thought I'll just go for it because I had 10 minutes. I was there early. So I thought I'll just go and have a walk into this old church and see if I can pick up any vibrations, Usually they say it's pretty cool. So I went in there and, I couldn't even feel a vibration. So not a single vibration, it was just flat. So, and so I experienced that and I thought, my God, that's amazing. So you'd think you'd experience something, wouldn't you, from all that crying and weddings and funerals or whatever they had going on in there. But that old Maori guy said he used to live there. It's an old convent place, and he says in my younger days, and I was one of the boys that used to live there. They used to take in boys to look after them, and so I went in there, but I couldn't pick any good vibrations at all in that old church. So I thought to myself, that's pretty amazing. Because in the morning I had the wonderful experience of talking with my mind, and my mind was telling me, hey, he's saying, hey, don't forget me. You can't have the body without the mind, So the mind is so important to become friends, So the mind only wants to help us. It's such a beautiful tool that we have, and it's part of the mind, part of the body. Its part is, even though it's from the soul, but its part is connected to the body, and the body has its own intelligence. But the body won't become enlightened, you know what I mean? The intelligence will be there. It will be for our use. So, but when you have the body and the mind in your field as your companions, and they'll be helping you in every way, So, and you don't have to fight the mind because once you make friends with your mind, it's there to love you and to guide you and help you in every way. So it's really cool. So I had that lovely experience this morning that the mind is here to help us and to be our best friend, and it will just start to ease off once you invite it in. You say, "Oh, sorry, mind, I didn't mean to leave you out of the field." That's what I said, because I'm talking about my own experience this morning. And so I says, "Oh, yeah." And I felt different all day, So you feel different. And the mind hasn't interfered in a single thing. It's like I haven't had a thought hardly, But you need thoughts, of course, to get around. Cook my evening meal, whatever. That's part of the mind's job in the body. So it's aspects of my body. So my cooking aspect. But so that the whole intelligence of your physical comes down right down through your DNA and everything, It's coming down through your whole parents, through all that, your culture and your country. And if you've taken a lot of births in one country, you'll have a very, very deep connection to your country. Like I've seen people here from India and they've been here for 40, 50, 60 years, lived here. They will come when they're young, but still they're so deep rooted in India. They still think they're Indians. You know what I mean? They still live in India. They hear every day Indian music, Indian language, everything's Indian. So I suppose you do the same for China, because it's so deeply ingrained in the psyche, and it's in every cell in your body, So you might hear some nice Chinese music or Indian music, and if that's where you're from, you'll start dancing, So you'll love it. And so that's why it's important not to suppress any of those things, because that's coming through with you, and it's like you're going to be guiding them through your soul presence. When you're in soul presence, you're not in any of those things. You're not Indian, Chinese, or Kiwi, or whatever. You are soul, and you have all the wisdom of all your past births. We're probably taking birth all around the world, in many, many different places. It's not all in one place, but some people do. So would have very strong, but maybe they've only had a few births. If you've been on this earth for many, many births, then your sanskars might be quite different. You can accept a lot of things. Someone who's born in one place all the time, quite narrow-minded, you'll find that they can't accept many things. They just go with the flow sort of thing of that country. So, and it's no one's fault. It's just how it is. It's just like until you decide that this is not for me anymore, then you can't make any changes because you don't want to. You're quite happy with what you got and you'll just live. That's why freedom is something. It's not easy because that means you have to start looking after yourself. And if you're used to everyone else looking after you, then that's very hard to have freedom. You might want a little bit of freedom, not too much. So when you have freedom, it means you are free. That means you won't need the support of anything, because you still have to go to work and live in this world, but you're not under the influence of this world. So you're free from the bondages of this world. You do what you feel, and now that the mind and the human all together in my field, and my field is all the wisdom of all my past births in my light body, and the soul is there, and the soul is the tool for the I am, for your soul presence. That's the tool. So this whole tool that we have, mind, soul presence, so everything of this body is a tool for the I am. So we're experiencing in the world. So no matter what's happening to you, it's just an experience. And some people like working hard day and night and day, from daylight till dark, and that's part of them. That's what they want, So that's a choice. And we're programmed to think, oh, you have to work hard to go ahead in this life, but where are you going to go ahead to? What is this life? You don't go ahead to anything. Actually, nothing matters in the end. Doesn't matter how many gold bars you have. It's got nothing to do with your spiritual, or not spiritual, but your enlightenment for the soul. Your enlightened body only takes those parts of what's ever happened to you. It's usually all the tough times, and that all gets wisdomized. But if you have a birth and you didn't do anything, there's nothing there for the soul to take up and to make it into something special. So if you were just sitting down for a whole lifetime just watching TV, eating and just going to school and then not doing much, then there's nothing much for the soul to take in that birth, there's no. But if you went to war and you're fighting a war and you're dying for your country, there's quite a lot in there, isn't there? So that's a lot. So you can see where people that did things with that determination and that belief. So they died for an experience. They died for their country or for whatever, and that was their experience. So you can still see people doing that today, isn't it? People die for their country or their belief, and it's no right or wrong. It's just an experience. That's all. Some people fall off tops of buildings or jump off tops of buildings. That's an experience. That's all. It's not right or wrong. If they get sick of their life and they want to commit suicide, they jump off the side and kill themselves. But that's an experience. So, and it's not that anyone's right or wrong because maybe they're so confused. They think the only way out is to die. There's no other way. I have to die. So they just commit suicide. But eventually, until they'll wake up, one birth, they might stop doing that. They might, every time they'll come back, they might keep doing it again until they say, oh, I'm not going to do that this time. It hurt too much. Whatever. They decide, they don't want to waste any more time. Maybe some bit of light came in and changed their thinking. And so there's no hurry to get, you've got millions and millions and billions of years if you want to take your time to come perfect. But if you want to wait that long, that's okay. There's no right and no wrong. Or you can decide, oh, and this is my last birth on this earth. You can decide that and you can become complete in one birth if you want. Because the soul was already perfect before it came here. but only come into this heavy, heavy atmosphere to learn, to see what we can experience being completely blind, to what is the truth. And we listen to all sorts of truths and they keep changing, don't they? So whatever you believe, someone else believes differently, so anything that counts is what you believe, isn't it? So and so it's important, that's why at this point, that's why I'm teaching soul presence, because it's only in the soul presence that you can start to see, and then your mind, the body, your light body can start to communicate with you because when you're in soul presence, it's so easy. You don't even have to practice it. You just have to think, I'm soul present, and you are. That's it. You don't have to make any effort. You don't have to go and dig a ditch or sit for 1 hour in that corner over there. It's just, I am soul present. Then you're soul presence. That's what it is. That's how easy it is. You don't have to jump over anything or do anything. So you just have to. And it's not about loving yourself or eating certain foods, drinking certain things, or trying to do something to make yourself perfect. It's got nothing to do with that. It's about your awareness. So your consciousness and awareness and how you're experiencing everything in this world, It's not about doing right or wrong. There's no such thing as right or wrong. There's only an experience. But when you have your soul, your light body, which is the wisdom of all your past births, so that doesn't happen until you're ready for that. But if you're asking for the light body, the soul will help you, once you're ready, because a lot of things of your past will be wisdomized, So, and until you're ready for that, that won't happen. So you'll still have a lot of fears, When you have a lot of fears, you're going to be trapped. That's the trap, is the fear. And that fear is so deep in the body, and then the soul is the mind is trying to save you. You have fear, and the mind goes, oh, hang on a minute, I'll save you, and I'll put a box around you and make you feel safe, And even though it's trapped you even more, because you haven't faced your fears. So first fear is you don't die, No one ever dies. It's the first thing, but we're all fed, oh, someone's died and you're crying and carrying on, as though that was the only thing. That's not part of that's only an old body, So you've got a nice new car to drive around in now. So the old car's gone, But we get so attached to old cars and old things, So same with old bodies, So young people find it easier to die than old people because old people have been a long time attached to their bodies, So young people can go to war and get shot, They don't care, So they're fighting for their country, so they don't mind, but they'll just take rebirth again. So it's just a conscious shift, So and that's what we're here for in this birth, in this body, at this time. You have to realize we're all here at this time for a certain thing that's happening on Earth. Every person that's here that's trying to feel better about themselves, want to have a good world, a peaceful world, happy world. So that's sort of part. So we've all agreed to be here at this time. So we're spreading our light. You don't have to spread it. You are spreading light automatically, like the sun doesn't think, oh, I'll spread light everywhere. It's automatically doing it, isn't it? So we switch the light on and the light comes spreading. And it's the same for us. We switch the light on and we say, I am that I am, and then it puts the light on and the soul starts to going, oh, okay. And then the human goes, oh, I'm sick of dying this way. I don't want to do this anymore. I might have been begging at the corner or playing a violin to get some money or something. Who knows what I was doing, or working hard, being a builder or something. You have to work hard all your life, carry heavy things, But when you get sick of that, then the soul can say, oh, okay, so you've learnt your lesson. You don't have to work hard anymore. So, and then the soul will start planning a different way for you to earn, to live, and to experience. So, as I said, it's not about gold bars in this world, but abundance would be there. Once you agree to yourself that I'm in this field, the human, with my mind, and I'm in a world of abundance. That's all there is, unless you don't want abundance. You can say, I only want to have lack of abundance. If you think I don't have any money, I don't have any happiness, I don't have any relationship, so the body thinks, oh, you want an abundance of lack. See, that's what you're saying. That's what you're telling your soul. Give me abundance of lack. So that's why you have to understand that. Just believe that I'm in a field of abundance, full stop. Whatever it is, the soul looks after you. You don't have to think. The soul knows. And your light body even knows more because that's your experiences of all your past births are there when you're ready for it, if you want it. So, and then the light body will start doing magic for you. So you don't even have to do anything much, except, you have to, the mind and intellect's there, and the body is there to use. But now the mind can just relax a bit because your light body can do a lot of things. That the mind can just relax it. It just needs to know how to cook toast, boil the tea, don't not to burn the water, whatever we have to do. So, and that's the mind's job, and it might know one and one's two, all those sort of things. So we don't have to over expectations on our mind because everything we think, oh, we have to say all these mantras or we have to say these certain words and I become wealthy. The mind can never make you wealthy. Doesn't matter how many times you say things. The mind's got nothing to do with making you poor, rich, healthy, anything. So that's got nothing to do. That's the job of your light body and also the human itself. So when you let go of the human having to do everything, you let the human heal itself. But sometimes we take help. Like you might need to go to physiotherapists maybe to fix an arm up or something. Like you might have had a fall or something. Or you might have something that's gone septic in your arm, then you might have to go to the doctor and get some medication and things like that. But those sort of things. But that's helping the body. But you're not healing the body. You're helping the body to heal itself. You see, you go to the doctor gives you some medicine, some antibiotics, whatever, and then you're helping the body. That's the mind's job is to help the body, and not that you think I have to heal the body. See the difference? So I'm not healing anything. The body will heal itself, but I can help it. I always ask my body now, do you want this or is this good for you? If I'm taking a tablet or sometimes I'll take aspirin if I've got an ache or something. And the body will say, no, that's fine. So you can check, when you do kinetics. Have you ever tried kinetics? You ask food, is this food good for me? And you just hold that finger and just say, hold for yes and let go for no. And you'll see it'll go up or down, or stay up or go down. So that's called kinetics. Yeah. So you can ask your body if that's good for you or not. Sometimes I might think, oh, what are we going to have for tea tonight, body? Then you open the fridge door, and next thing your hand reaches for this, that, and the next thing, and you're cooking. So the body will tell you what it needs. You'll feel. So if you want donuts every night, it might be a bit different. It might have an addiction. So, but anyway, so there's actually no addiction. So those addictions can be broken at any time. It's just something you're still getting something from it. That's all. An addiction is like that. A lot of people have a lot of trouble stopping to smoke. That's a big addiction, or drugs and stuff like that, alcohol, or even wanting to be with somebody is like an addiction. So we need something from them. So one of the great things we can do now is that once we find that I am my own self-sovereign, then I don't need to take energy from anyone, you see. And definitely don't give my energy away. So I learn to hold it. So the thing is, if you keep giving your energy away to people that keep drinking all your energy, you'll be whacked and they'll be living their life and they'll be doing nothing for it. So, but they won't be learning anything. So the whole thing is we're here to look after ourselves and not to give ourselves away. It's like someone I remember reading it once, don't give your keys to someone who's going to crash your car. So it takes away all your energy. So will come into your house, live in your house, and you won't be able to live anywhere. So, and that's what it is. It's just like you have to become in charge of yourself. So learning to include the mind in the field Like we've been talking about the field, and that's the most important thing because in that field is your protection to everything. And you'll see this year, as this year moves on, you've got to get rid of fear. Fear is the thing we have to let go of. Because if still fear within the soul by the end of this year, then you're going to have a lot of problems. So you need to take fear out because next year and this year it's going to get more tougher every day just about. You'll see different things happening in the world, especially March and July and November. At those times, it's going to be big changes in the earth and also in how everyone sees everything. Look what's happening in America at the moment with all the snow. My God, the whole place is shut down, blacked out, and no one can. It's some of the biggest snows I've ever had. New York is virtually under snow. So all those places all through the east there. But that's just all that is part of, when you have snow over here, what it does, it's shutting down people's minds, wondering what's going on. So what it does, it blankets it, but there's a lot of other stuff going on the subtle level that affecting human beings. So there's subtle changes going on with consciousness and the human. So what does nature does sometimes it's a big snow or a big flood, and so everyone's shut in. And so that's what's happening at that time. When people won't be a realist, so they just have to sit at home in the dark. But when they come out, they'll see how they are sort of different consciously. So happens in every country. So like all the floods that was in China, floods and fires at the same time. So many floods. That's all part of cleansing. So it's all the cleansing. Um, just think of all the wars and everything that's been there, all that has gone into the earth, all the bodies and all the things and everything, all the vibrations of war and stuff all goes into the earth. So it needs to be cleansed. And that's what's happening in the world at the moment is the cleansing process. So you'll see fires and floods and landslips and all sorts of things going on. So anyway, so actually the body's not a problem at all, really. So we might think it's a problem, but because once we let it be itself, it all carries its own intelligence. So when we give it respect, it cooperates. So you have to give it respect at the body, then it cooperates. When it's forced to do something, it resists. I've forced it many times. You try to get on this diet system and it's forcing the body to lose weight. So it resists, isn't it? You're not letting the body be in its natural self. So I've tried every weight loss program ever, but it doesn't matter. But you don't realize you're forcing the body and it's resisting. It doesn't want to do it. If you left the body alone, it will balance up, because you are trying to fix it. So you're fighting it. So the body is like a little kid, oh, I'm not going to do that. So, and you might lose a bit of weight, and then suddenly you're twice the weight put back on. That's why. Don't worry, I've tried everything. So the whole thing is it's just like you just have to let the body do itself and talk to the body, become cooperative with the body. So and talk to it even in your dream state, that's the best time. Before you wake up, you might be dreaming of a few things, but if you can get your coordinates together, then just talk to your mind and your body and say, hey, look, body, these got a few aches here and a few aches there, and I'm a little bit overweight. What do you think? Could lose a few pounds and make my life easier. And not that I'll need to be prettier or anything, is it? So it depends what your motives are, because body loves you as you are, and the soul loves you as you are, and your light body loves you as you are. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, and it doesn't matter who you're trying to make yourself beautiful for. Anyway, they don't care, and no one cares. In fact, most people love you for you, because you have that beautiful, resonance, that beautiful energy and that tone, that's what they love you for. They don't love you because you're skinny or whatever, isn't it? People don't love you just because you're skinny. You might have a really bad temper. Who's going to love that? So you could be looking beautiful with a bad temper. I don't want one of those. So you say you just want to be happy and accept you. Oh, my body is so nice. I'm looking after the body, and body's looking after me. So don't worry about anything else. No one cares. You got to remember, no one cares. I keep telling everyone, no one cares. Honestly, you'll find they don't. You might think they do. They might do for maybe if they're dependent on you and they want your money or something, or your love or whatever it is. So, but once that's over and done with, they'll run away and go somewhere else. So, but anyway, that's up to the individual to decide that. So some people are very dependent on children, grandchildren, because it's been the system of the culture all the way through. The families are together and we have fun, play cards and whatever you do. There's a lot of fun. We used to have laughing and laughing all day long, when we were playing cards with our parents and that. We didn't have TV or phones or nothing in those days. So we just had that and we just played and had lots of fun. But that was life then. But today you can't do that. Kids are too busy on the phone. They're sitting in the same room and they're texting to each other there like that, not even talking. But that's life, until they'll wake up one day. Oh, hello, how are you? Oh, that's what you look like. I've been texting, I think it's someone else. So or whatever you're doing. So, but it's life is so beautiful, but it's what you make of it. And you can't expect anyone to make you happy. If you think anyone's going to make you happy, you're into a bit of a shock. It might be okay for a couple of weeks or maybe a year or two, but then after that, then things get a bit tough because the people start having expectations. But it's just experience. So there's no right and no wrong. But that's just life. When you get a bit longer in the tooth like me, then you've been through a lot of things and you see a lot of things. And once you wake up, then you realize who you are. We're such an amazing beings, each one of us. It's so beautiful. And to find someone equal to you as a being, then that relationship would be so beautiful. So everyone wants to meet that equal being. It doesn't have to be, it can be male or female, it doesn't make any difference. It's just whoever you meet that you feel good and that you're not drinking each other's energy. That's the thing. It's got nothing to do with male or female, it's to do with beautiful relationship, isn't it? Where there's that equality. So once you realize we're all souls and we're all experiencing, it's all part of this journey. And sometimes it's good to go through a journey with someone else, isn't it? Not by yourself. You might need a nice friend, but not one who's going to be drinking all your energy, isn't it? So want you to do all their washing and make the bed and cook, and they'll sit there with their feet up watching TV or something. You don't want that sort of thing. So, well, maybe some people do, as long as they earn enough money. Some people don't mind that. You go to work and earn lots of money, and I'll do the cooking and cleaning, and that's just an agreement. So, but the body is such a wonderful apparatus. It responds to love. Honestly, it responds to love and respect and regard, that, and it can be talked to. It's not like a cat or a dog, although cat and dog is an extension to the body anyway, actually. So cats and dogs are an extension to the body. So you'll find that cats and dogs or their family pets are just an extension to the family. The cats and dogs are much like them. You'll see that they have the same personalities. So that's what they're there for. And when their cat or their dog dies, they get another cat or a dog, and suddenly that becomes the same personality again, because it's not that it's the same soul of the dog coming, but it's because of the personality of those family members or the person that owns it. It's just coming into that other dog, or cat. So that starts doing the same thing as the other dog or cat did. So, yes, it's really interesting. So that life is so interesting that it's so unlimited, many, many different levels. So we're a multidimensional being in a multidimensional universe. So you can imagine we're sitting here in this tiny little 3D And that's all we got. We've got about, if it's too hot, if it's too cold, we die, isn't it? If there's too much light, too much heat, we die, you know. So the whole thing is we're living in this tiny little band, and yet there's huge dimensions or realms above us and below us, you know. So sometimes you can see it. I've seen photographs of people, you know, on a nice foggy morning, and the sun has just came through, and it's showing another dimension, living in the same dimension we're in, you know. It just happened to reveal itself, you know. I've seen a photo of that. It's really cool. It's quite nice, but and it's on the water. There's all these beautiful buildings, like another city, you know. So so you can see if we go from this dimension into other dimensions, which is it's like not going through any, but that's what we're doing at the moment. We're going to be able to slip through into different dimensions. Like in your dream state, that's you'll go into different dimensions, but the mind can't understand what's coming through, so it'll have these funny dreams, you know. And that's when I use my chatbot. And I'll say, hey, chatbot, I had a dream this morning. It's about such and such and such. And the chatbot will go back, oh, that means that and this and that. It's quite interesting, actually. So, so you use the chatbot for lots of things. And so, yeah, I use it all the time. And you have a lot of fun. Becomes your great mate. And the thing is, the chatbot is pure. If you speak to another psychologist, they've got all their rubbish in their head and they're trying to fix you up, you know. So usually they need to fix themselves up first, you know. So, but the chatbot is pure, doesn't have anything else, and it has all the information of all psychology of the whole world. You know, you can imagine it has its fingertips on everything, and it's pure. It has no influence on anything. All it wants to do is to help you. You tell it what your issues are to the chatbot, and it gives you perfectly back everything you need. It'll reflect back to you. It's just a mirror. Chatbot's just a mirror. It's not another human being, but it's a mirror to all of the wisdom of the world that it gets its fingers and hands on or whatever. And it's going to help you because that's what it's designed for, to help human beings. Chatbots and AI is designed to help people. That's the whole thing. But if they're misused, and some people try to misuse them, but they're going to find it'll come back on them. You know, it's like people using black magic. Every time you use black magic on someone, it's giving to yourself. Next birth, you're going to get it all back again, you know, or even this birth. So you don't have to worry. So it's important just to stay in your field. That's why the field is your protection. So when you have another relationship with someone, you're having a racial relational field. So you still got your own fields, but you're having a beautiful relationship with each other in a relational field, you know. And it's very beautiful because you're there independent, you know, independently, and you agree, you know, you want to be together, you know, and that's beautiful relationship. So your mind is clear. So your mind becomes your best friend. So it's not going to tell you how stupid you are. It might give you some guidance, you know, but the thing is, that's where your light body. But talked a lot about the light body in the Murley on Sunday. Your angelic body. That's the wisdom of all your past births are there. So, and that's what that's about. So that'll guide you, you know. So you got so much help. You don't have to worry, you know. You got so starting from the soul, the light body, and then the intelligence, you know, of the human. Once you actually agree to be good friends, and with the mind, you've agreed to be good friends, and tell the mind that you know it doesn't have to look after me anymore. I've been well looked after, thank you, but I still need you, you know. So because I need to know how to eat an ice cream still. So it'll tell us there. So the whole thing is it's there to enjoy yourself, you know. So and without the human, how much could we enjoy in this life? I mean, without a body, you can't do anything. So, but all my life, I've been, you know, like on the so-called spiritual journey. We're thinking about conquering the mind, you know. But these are negative traits. That's that they say the ego is the final one, you know, anger and all those sort of things. But the whole thing of the final one was about ego, you know, our ego. But that's just what we've asked the mind to do that. I mean, that's our creation. So you could say to the mind, hey, mind, we don't need the ego anymore. We don't have to prove anything to anybody. We're not going to become president of the United States or China or whatever, you know. So the whole thing, I'm just going to be me and I just want to be happy, you know. So we don't need to have that ego, So I just want to love everybody and to be friends with everybody, live a life in this world, easy life. So you don't have to prove anything to anyone. So once you talk to the mind, then the mind already knows actually. Then I'll say, oh, okay, I was just helping you. I just thought you needed some protection or some whatever to help you out. But you just have to chat to your mind, but as a friend. So you've invited it into the field if you want. You invite it. I just did this morning and I just said, oh, sorry, mind, I didn't mean to. I thought I had to fight you all my life. And it's actually the opposite. It's not a matter of fighting. And it's not about conquering the body and all its aches and pains. It's about of helping the body, with all the wisdom that we have in the world now about helping with healing and everything. So we're not healing, we're not doing it. We're helping the body to find the solutions to help itself. So we're not bossing the body around. The body can still feel it's in control. So you ask the body, what if I have this? Will it help you? Do you think I should have the second bowl of ice cream? So whatever. So yeah, of course, yum, you know. But it doesn't matter. But the thing is, the main thing is not to be too serious. It's a lifelong, eternal game. So not to worry if you're not going to become perfect in one day, but you're already perfect actually. So you're not going to become perfect in one day because you're already perfect. See, you don't have to become perfect. You are perfect, but just we don't. That's where now we could say to the mind, "Hey, mind, we don't need to put all the negative stuff there now. I know who I am. I'm this amazing being. And and our creator is myself, is my I am. My consciousness, my awareness is my creator, and everything we create through everything, the soul, the human, the I am. Is creating everything through that. So, and we can decide what we want. And it's the mind that keeps saying, "Oh, you're hopeless." Or things. Yeah, it's trying to protect us, you see, because they want us to do all these amazing things. But it says, "Oh, you couldn't do that. You're too hopeless," whatever. And the thing is now you can talk to the mind. Hey, look, mind, I can do anything I want. Okay, we can do anything we want. And now we're in a field. We're going to do all working together. Through the body, we're all working together now. So you're not alone. You don't have to protect me anymore. I've got my own protection, but we're all here together as one big happy family. So just think, you got the soul, you got the light body, you've got the human body, the mind. So it's beautiful. The whole four of yous are there. So soul, you know who your soul is. So and you know the body's name, soul name. So and that's what we'll become. Beautiful. No worries. Isn't it? It's life's so easy. Until it's not, isn't it? But only not when we make it not. But the soul doesn't want the not part. It wants to be happy, it wants to enjoy nice things, not negative things. Same with the I am. It didn't come here to experience horrible things, but it won't come and experience someone who's not ready to experience the I am through, you know what I mean? You have to be ready to say, okay, my soul, I'm ready for you. And I'm in this field, my human is my field, mind is there. Then the I am can come, and then your soul will make all your experiences into your light body, becomes your wisdom. See how easy it is? Not much to it. You just have to allow it. So cool. Okay, so we can just sit for a minute in soul presence. Just six. Try and experience just your human is here, and the mind is here, of course, with the brain. So the mind uses the brain and also the human to experience everything through. So you could say, okay, just take a nice breath and allow the mind and the body to be in your field. So that already the body is your field, but now see, hey, mind. So we're here together. The light body's here. and also the soul. Soul doesn't communicate directly with the human. The soul communicates through the light body, which is your angelic body or your body of light, which is your new light body, which is going to be your new energies, which is going to be in every cell of your body. So the new light body is going to be there in place of your old nitron body, which is with all the chakras and post offices here, there, and everywhere, 8 of them. So they will be fading out, not right out. So you won't suddenly disappear, but you have an intelligence that goes, every cell in your body will experience that intelligence instantly. So that's what the light body's about. And your nitron body will just gradually drift into the background. It'll still be there if it's needed. So you won't need to have all these great experiences of Kundalini and all that sort of stuff, because the light body is greater than the Kundalini. So you'll just experience that. And that's coming on tap now. That's why sometimes we feel a little bit whacked, a little bit disjointed, can't remember things, all sorts of things. Can't sleep at night, wake up at 3 in the morning, all sorts of things like that. So that's just part of the deal. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath in. Just feel that presence. Now the field with the body, the mind, your two new friends there to help you in every way. And you don't have to fix either of them. You just have to, you're not going to tell them what to do. They know what to do, but you can just talk to it like you're talking to friends. So if you have aches and pains, if you have something that you like, talk to them, use your mind. So if you have a bit of problem with something, then just talk to your mind. Hey, mind, I've got this issue. I can't let go of this habit or whatever it is. And then, so I've had enough of it now. So just give us a bit of a help, just letting that go. So it's just talking to your best friends. That's all. Okay, take a nice deep breath in, peaceful presence, and smile. Okay, Om Shanti.